Ksenia Evgenievna, as we understand it, each caste has its own primary purpose. The purpose of laborers is to survive. Merchants aim to build connections and accumulate wealth, and warriors seek to contemplate ideas and implement them. However, we haven't addressed sorcerers in this context. What is the primary purpose of their caste? Is it simply to act as conduits of forces, or could there be something more to it? Colleague Andrei, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. There is no such caste as a caste of sorcerers. Castes, or social strata, imply that their members' consciousness is deeply rooted in the social world and that they perform specific functions necessary for civilization. Castes were created by the gods to build civilization. The purely Apollonian principle, or the path of Heimdall, as it is known in the northern tradition, is associated with the rapid advancement of human society. Civilization as a concept is entirely focused on humanity. It was created for humankind, with humans as its central participants. The Dionysian principle, or the path of culture, does not imply the existence of castes. Once castes appear within culture, we are no longer talking about culture as a phenomenon. We are talking about a ministry of culture. From this, we can conclude that any group that does not participate in the social games is neither a caste nor a caste-forming element.
Колдуны в социальных играх не участвуют.
Sorcerers do not participate in social games, and this means that no such caste as sorcerers exists. Traditionally, in the Northern, Celtic, and Vedic traditions, there are 4 recognized castes or social levels, or strata, also known as varnas in Hinduism. These include laborers, merchants, warriors, and rulers, all of whom belong to what is called the social line. There is one additional path above the level of warriors, and it leads into magic. However, once someone steps off the warrior's path and onto the path of magic, they cannot return. At least, not according to the old algorithms. I must keep reminding you that everything is changing now, and so are the algorithms. Nonetheless, we are referring to a tradition that is firmly established and will continue to influence us for some time. However, those who turn away from the primary path can no longer be considered full participants in the social world. They have left the Apollonian path and chosen another, which means that they no longer participate in the social games and therefore cannot be classified as a caste. For this reason, there is no caste of sorcerers, just as there is no caste of mages. It's not that mages don't form communities, they do, and so do sorcerers, albeit with difficulty and reluctance, but they still form them. Typically, they form communities at the level of family and kin egregores, not at higher levels. There are families of sorcerers, where power is indeed passed down through their bloodline. However, sorcerers often struggle to establish themselves at the level of spontaneous egregores. They might form a school, take on apprentices, earn money, pass on partial knowledge, and then close the school once their specific task is complete. Therefore, it cannot be said that this represents the egregore of sorcerers. No, it is simply the egregore of a company that generates profit, and nothing more. While sorcerers can pass on their power within the profession, it is more common for them to pass it down through their bloodline, as their magical gift is typically transferred according to a set algorithm, strictly through blood. It is extremely rare for sorcerers to transfer their power to someone who is not their blood relative. And even in
нужно
such
совершить
cases,
определенные
special
ритуалы.
rituals
Вот если
have
мы
to be
говорим
performed
о
to
даре, о
make this
каком-либо
transfer
определенном
possible. That
весе,
is, of course,
куда
if we are talking about the magical gift itself and not a
Вот,
lodged
поэтому
entity, as the
мы
latter can be
говорим о касте
transferred by
колдунов по
other means.
причине
Therefore,
отсутствия
we do
такого.
not speak of a caste of sorcerers
Соответственно,
due
я
to the lack
ответила.
of one. I hope, colleague, that I have answered your question.